Thank you everyone for being with us. Again, welcome, good evening, good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and start presenting on the ONDAS Student Center, which is a first-gen resource on campus. So what that means, it's a resource for first-generation students, and although anybody with identify as first-gen or not are able to use our resources and services. So my name is Denise Diaz. My pronouns are she, him, hers, and I serve as the director of the ONDAS Student Center. I'm also a first-gen college graduate, and I've been at UCSB since August of 2020.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Diana Magaña, pronouns she, her, ella. I am the assistant director of the ONDAS Student Center. I'm coming up on my year with the ONDAS Student Center, but prior to becoming assistant director, I was the graduate student mentor. So I would help any first-gen student or any student in general who had questions about graduate school or what graduate school was or how to engage in that process. Because I'm also a graduate student here at UCSB. I am a PhD student within the Department of Education, and I've been on campus for about 7 years now. So I've been here for quite some time.
And just so you all know, that picture that you see on the slide is a picture of one of our spaces. So we like to call that the cafe space. The ONDA Student Center is a physical study space for you all. It's a community space and it's a hangout space. We like to make the space really cozy, warm lighting, and comfortable for you all. Go ahead and go into the next slide, Diana. So our mission at the ONDAS Student Center is really to support the first generation students on campus and their transition at UCSB. What we mean with first generation is folks who are the first in their family to earn a bachelor's degree in the United States or in a college degree in the United States. And even if your siblings identify as or have graduated from university, you still identify as first generation. Like I mentioned before, anybody whether identify as Christian or not are still able to use our resources and services. And this is a picture of one of our programs that we have. We like to do a lot of crafting, provide meals for folks, and just have a community space for students to be. We do also love to connect students with other faculty and staff on campus as well to support you all. And of course, create that peer-to-peer connection as well to you, so you feel like you have a sense of belonging, feel like you have a community at UCSB. We're open Monday through Friday from 10 to 5, and we're located in Curl Hall 1120. So once you're on campus, it's right near the bus loop. If you take the bus to campus, we'll be right there waiting for you all.
And we have so much to provide you all. Like Denise said, we have a dedicated study space, so plenty of room to sit down, to study, to work with group members for group projects. If you also just want a place to eat your lunch in between classes, we do have a lot of space for students to do that. Usually a lot more space than the library does. The library sometimes does get a little packed during specific times of the quarter, and our space usually always has seating. We have individual seating if you want to be able to just sit down and lock in and focus on your work. We also have seating that's arranged in tables in case you want a bit more of a social atmosphere as you sit down and do your homework. And we also have couches. So if you just want to sit down on a couch, it's very cozy. You can go ahead and do that. We just got a giant bean bag that we just installed in the center as well. And so we have lots of cozy little corners for students to settle in, do their reading, settle in, and focus on their academics as well as focus on building community. On top of the study space, so we have a lot of other services. For example, we have in-center academic advising. So we are partnered with Letters in Science, and we have two academic advisors who are in our office about 2 days a week. So we have our LNS advisor, Enrique. He's a first-gen college student himself and QCSB graduate. And he is here usually on Wednesdays all day, and he is here to answer any questions with regards to majors, minors, how to add classes, how to drop classes, how to navigate, knowing which classes and which requirements you still have to fulfill versus which ones you have fulfilled already. For those of y'all that might be in AP courses or might have taken some classes in community college, if you have questions about how to transfer those over and make sure that they're being applied, our academic advisor, Enrique, as well as Vivian, who's usually with us on Fridays, are able to answer all of those questions. We also have a textbook library. So if you are in some classes, if you see the textbook might be a little bit expensive and you're only going to need it for that one course and want to see if it's available anywhere else to borrow, feel free to come and check out our textbook library. We have a lot of textbooks from a variety of subjects that we will loan out to students while they're here in the center to do homework or to study. We have free exam materials as well as a snack and fruit station. So we have blue books, scantrons, pencils, and pens. Those are all things that you will need as you head into midterms and as you head into finals. And we often have them for free here at the center, so you don't have to spend your own money to acquire those. We have also partnered with the food bank here on campus to provide a snack and fruit station. So if you need a little pick me up throughout the day, if you just need a little snack to get you in between lunch and dinner, come check us out. We have a couple snacks in our little snack station as well. We have a lot of workshops and events in our center as well. So besides being a dedicated study space, we will often have some events going on in our spaces. We'll talk about those a little bit later, but a lot of our events are geared towards helping students academically thrive during their time here at UCSB. So we provide a lot of programs designed around how to interact with faculty, how to think about your academic future, how to make sure that you are thriving in UCSB as a first generation college student. As we know, when you're first gen, sometimes there's a lot of questions. And so through our programming, we really aim to kind of ease those questions, ease those worries, and have you feel confident going into your academic journey. We also offer faculty office hours. So some of the big courses on campus often have their office hours within our spaces. So those faculty come to us in a space where students are already comfortable being rather than having students go and try to find a faculty at their office hours. Our spaces are cozy, they're bright, it's a nice space to have office hours. And so those are also available to students, and faculty will make you aware if they're having office hours in our spaces. We also have graduate school mentorships. So, as I said earlier, I started my journey at ONDAS by being the graduate student mentor. We have our amazing graduate student mentor, Gabby, who is now in that position. And they are here to really offer up any advice with regards to graduate school. If you want to know what graduate school is, how to get into it, what different grad school options there are, all the requirements, how to navigate asking for letters of rec for grad school, they're really here to help facilitate that whole process from start to finish, really. And then we have our peers. So we have an amazing, amazing team of about 4 to 5 peers. They are undergrad students at UCSB, same as you will be. And they are here to help us design our programs. So they're the ones that come up with these amazing ideas for programs. They're the ones who are talking to students and getting ideas for what needs and what interests students might have. And that's what we use to craft our programming. They're also here to really help us keep an eye on the centers on the day to day. They're there to answer any questions that students may have, and they're happy to speak from their own experiences as kind of third year, fourth year students who have already been through their first couple years. And they themselves are also first generation college students, so they can speak from experience. And yeah, I'll pass it back to Denise.
At the ONDAS Student Center, we couldn't do everything that we do without our campus partners. So you'll oftentimes see us collaborating with a lot of folks on campus, like Career Services, the Transfer Student Center, the library, health and wellness, education abroad programs. So all of our partners across campus, we definitely partner with them to make sure that we're connecting you all with different resources. And that you're seeing a variety of different programs and events and workshops at the Student Center. And then some examples of our programs is so we have academic advising for first-gen students, like then I had mentioned. So we do partner with the College of Letters and Science on campus. This is some of the flyers for fall and winter quarters. There's some of the folks that have academic advising consistently in our center. If you ever have any questions and you're in the center, you need help with your schedule of classes, you have questions about your classes, about your major, definitely go to these folks in ONDAS and they're readily available for you in the center.
And we also have partnerships with specific academic departments. So one example would be the Department of Communication. So we have Zal and Abby, who are undergrad advisors, who again come into our centers and are here to do drop-in hours for students to come and talk to them in spaces that they might already be familiar with and comfortable in. We also have Asian American Studies, who's done some major advising as well. So they can help answer major questions about majors or minors, about studying abroad, or really if you want a long-term plan for your academic career here, they're more than happy to kind of sit down on a one-on-one setting and discuss those options with you. This past quarter, we've also had Chicano studies as well. So we usually invite a wide variety of majors and departments to come into our spaces to offer these opportunities to connect with advisors and with students. And as Denise said, we partner with a lot of folks, and these are just some of our past partner collaborations. So at ONDAS, we have something called Study and Self Care Week. It happens during week 10, which is the last week of the academic quarter. And that's really a week where we partner with different folks so that we can provide students a space to kind of do what the title says, to do some of that self care during finals. We're stressed. We might be maybe not taking the best care of ourselves. So we want to provide a space where students are able to take some intentional time to do so. So we've had cap decorating during spring where seniors come in and decorate their caps. We've had craft your calm. We have a lot of craft supplies. We love a good craft at Ondas. And so we invite students to come take an hour of their time, sit down, draw, paint, to come and vision board with us if that's also what they need. We have a variety of programs, and these change every single quarter. Like I said, our undergrad team really comes up with these really great ideas for our study and self care week. We also love to invite faculty into our spaces, specifically first gen faculty. Um, in the past couple of years, we've held professor lunch hours, which is an opportunity for students to connect with fellow first gen or transfer professors outside of the classroom and to really talk about their own academic journeys and how they got to where they are. Because once upon a time, they were in your seats and we're trying to figure all of this out. And now seeing where they're at, we would love to hear from them about how they got there. And they're always more than willing to talk to students, take their questions, connect one on one, exchange information. And there's usually also free food, which is also a big bonus. We've also had talk about grad school. So we invite graduate students as well from different disciplines, all also first gen or transfer to talk about their own journey. So as a grad student, you're still a student in some ways, but you've kind of figured out undergrad in other ways. And so they're here to share their own experiences, what they've learned from their experiences with our students who might be looking to navigate that journey as well. And then every quarter, we collaborate with Letters in Science, specifically with Enrique and Vivian, as you saw, for our scheduling series. So in the winter, we have spring into your schedule. In the spring, we have fall into your schedule. In the fall, we have slay your schedule. And these are workshops intended to get support about classes. So if you need support with building your schedule, figuring out what classes might fit best, figuring out what requirements you want to tackle the next quarter, our advisors are here to provide one-on-one support with how to do so.
Diana, before we move forward, we do have some
Yeah.
questions in the chat. If you could
Oh,
want to go
yeah.
back to the previous slide. So there was a question around what specific programs are tailored towards both first-gen and transfer students. And many of our programs are tailored towards both first-gen and transfer students. If you see the flyers, you'll see a TSC logo. So any of our flyers that have a TSC logo, but I will really say any of our program, transfer students can also
Mhm.
attend. We'll elaborate a little bit more, but we are located next to the Transfer Student Center. So we like to call them our sibling center. So when you come into our space, you'll go into the Transfer Student Center first. You'll walk through a hallway, and then you'll be at the ONDAS Student Center. We have meetings together all the time. Our peer mentors at the lobby are transfer students and first gen students who work in both the TSC and ONDAS. So it really depends from week to week, from quarter to quarter. Talk About Grad School, for example, is a program that first gen students and transfer students can join, as well as bring into your schedule. Like I mentioned, Professor Lunch Hours, Study and Self Care Week. So any and many of our
Oh,
programs are geared towards both first gen and transfer students. Yeah, go ahead, Yana. You can go to the next slide. I do want to talk a little bit more about the testimonials and what folks are saying about the ONDAS Student Center. So the first testimonial is a testimonial by a first generation transfer undergraduate student visitor. And they mentioned it's a second home for first gen. It's a place where we do feel welcome and we do feel like people listen to us there. It's a safe place. I would like, because sometimes being a first gen, you don't really know what you're doing. And then we do have graduate students who are also in the space. There was another question about graduate students. Although our programs are geared primarily towards undergraduate students, we do have a graduate student mentor in the ONDA Student Center, and oftentimes they do collaborations with other graduate students and they do programs for graduate students as well. So the second testimonial, the person said, it's unique, it's needed. I don't know another school that has a space like this. I believe it's if it's in this school for the foreseeable future, it will really develop into something that can make a big difference for many of our students that are forgotten in these institutions. And then the last one, it's a participant for one of our faculty programs. and this is an undergraduate student. I had a great time interacting with the professor and other students. It was a nice environment where I could sit and enjoy a hot meal in a very casually engaging setting. Kind and understanding professor who seems genuinely interested in the students. I enjoyed hearing his advice and personal experience in higher education. Like Dana and I mentioned, we really want these spaces to be spaces where folks feel like they're in community, where they're getting the resources that they're looking for, where the space is supportive and help you navigate the university, and where you're getting connected to other students, other staff members, and other faculty. Ultimately, our goal is to help you all succeed and to have a great time at UCSB.
Speaking of great time, we have a couple of signature programs that we want all of y'all to look out for. These are programs that happen regularly every single year and are some of the signature programs that students really look forward to. One of the first ones that we host is our First Gen and Transfer Scholars Welcome. Typically, this is hosted during the week of welcome, which is typically the week before instruction begins in the fall. And it's just a space where we welcome new UCSB students as well as transfers with some student panels, with engaging workshops, with a resource fair, and with a social to kind of welcome students where they can meet other fellow first gen and transfer students, as well as first gen and transfer friendly faculty and staff. This will probably, if this sorry, when this happens in the fall, you all will likely receive an email informing you about this event, but also we welcome you to follow us on Instagram. That's also a great way to find out about the kinds of events that we host throughout the quarter, as well as some of our big events that we will definitely advertise as they happen. Another one of our programs that is a regular is Real Talk. Denise and I are big fans of Real Talk. It is the crown jewel in our ONDAS Center. And it's a weekly social event that we partner with the Early Opportunity Program on campus, EOP, where we provide donuts and coffee and a space for community. Students often come get a snack and they sit down and craft and they end up meeting future roommates, future best friends. It's a space for them to ask questions and really just chat and learn about resources with other students who are also interested in the first gen experience. And our peer mentors help facilitate that, and they do such a great job of also kind of offering mentorship through this program. Usually we ask people to register on Shoreline, but people are more than welcome to kind of drop by. We have a group of regulars that regularly join in and are always welcome to join anybody else in. And then Denise and I will also sometimes stop by because we also are first gen and we also love a craft and we love community. Like I said, we have graduate school advising that happens in our center as well. This is our flyer for our graduate student, Gabby. And so she hosts dedicated time on Thursdays, at least Thursdays in the fall. This was from 1 to 3 in the center, where she can really answer any questions for students. No appointment necessary. You can just drop on by and ask really any questions relating to the graduate school, and she will be more than happy to support and provide guidance and insight from a first gen perspective. And if those times that are advertised sometimes don't work for students, she's also more than happy to arrange an alternative time to meet one on one with them. And then we have another event. This one just happened this past quarter. We are hoping to be able to offer this again next year because it was such a popular program and such a great program. It was called Talk About Office Hours. And this was a space for students to come in and informally chat with faculty about what's the best way to utilize office hours, what's great about office hours, what are the benefits of going to office hours, and how do you approach them? How do you prepare? And we have faculty members from a lot of different departments on campus, such as economics, political science, chemistry, and history. We try to offer faculty from a lot of different programs and departments so that we can offer a variety for our students who are also coming from a variety of departments and disciplines. And for this one, we had tacos at the event, as the title suggests. So also great event, but also yummy food that can be offered through our center.
Thank you, Diana. I did want to highlight, and like I had mentioned, the Transfer Student Center is located in the same space where the ONDAS Student Center is. So the Transfer Student Center, similar to the ONDAS Student Center, supports transfer students on campus. And they really provide a community space for folks as well, a study space. A lot of the programs that you've seen throughout this presentation, the Transfer Student Center also has. And a lot of those programs we host together. There is a lot of overlap. They also connect transfer students with their faculty, other staff, and other transfer students on campus as well. So I did want to make sure I highlighted them throughout our presentation. Um, are there any other questions that are coming up? We are nearing the end of our presentation. You can find both the ONDAS Student Center and the Transfer Student Center, like I mentioned, in Kerr Hall 1120. So we're right next to the bus loop on campus, right between North Hall and Cheadle. You'll also see the Arbor, which is the main walkway. Both centers are open 10 to 5, Monday through Friday. But that's really it about us for now. You can follow us on social media. Definitely encourage you all to follow us on Instagram. You'll be able to see all the events happening, all of our beautiful flyers, and you'll be able to get a sneak peek of our center as well. Is there anything that you want to mention, Diana?
I would say if you find yourself in the area in the spring, want to check us out, feel free to drop by. We have our peer mentors who are usually working our lobby space to say, hey, I'm a prospective student. I came to a virtual info session, saw Denise and Vienna talk, and I would love a tour of the center. They would be more than happy to give you a tour of the center if you are around.
Any questions? We'll be here for